Hey everybody, Soholux Realty here, back on our YouTube channel. Today we are talking to you specifically. That's right, you. If you want to do this real estate investing yourself, you don't want to listen to all these gurus trying to sell you on being a part of their 300 unit Class A multifamily deal. You want to buy 2 to 50 units. Maybe you partner up with a couple friends. Maybe you do it yourself. Listen to us. We got you covered today on what to avoid, what to be aware of, and specifically what to look out for when you're looking at these investment properties. So I'll just speak in some generality here at first. You're gonna buy based on the decade, right? Like, hey, I'm looking at a 60s property or I'm looking at a 70s property. Maybe it's in a rougher area of town, but it's got some appreciation potential. I'm getting it for a screamer deal. Let's go ahead. 60s, 70s, and 80s, you have to be aware of functionally obsolescent elements of the deal. 8-foot ceilings. Institutions don't love that. They don't like it. Doesn't really apply to you if you're buying this size, but they don't like that. You should be aware of that. You should know that. It's going to have popcorn ceilings. You're going to have to scrape if you want to modernize it. 60s, cast iron plumbing, huge pain in the ass. You're going to have to repair that. It's probably already going out as we speak, and the agent's not telling you about it. 70s, you got aluminum wiring. 80s, you got polybutylene plumbing. The list goes on and on. Laythe, anything to add or comment about that?
I mean, those are great points. I would say before you get into the nitty gritty, I was given this piece of advice when I was younger, which I didn't follow. Granted, I'll go on a different reason why. Whenever you're looking at a piece of real estate, say to yourself, can I see myself living in this neighborhood? The answer is no. Just move on.
Well, Laythe, real quick, tell everybody also, like, you were 20 years old buying these deals. So like, that's good perspective. Like, tell everyone, like, listen, like, I was like, you probably didn't know what you were doing, but you know, so I think that's just good color to understand.
Yeah, so the first property I bought, I think I was like 21, 20. And that was, I followed that rule. It was a building right next to NC State, and I was planning on living in it. Didn't end up living it because I wanted the extra $1,000 in rent. But after that, I started buying in the hood, and the reason why I said earlier, don't buy where you can't picture yourself living in it, is because majority of these people have 9-to-5s or have a day job. My job back then was to make money any way possible, and if that meant going to the worst areas and, you know, blood, sweat, and tears to fix up, collect money, get out the homeless, get out the drugs. I had the time to do it. You know, your regular person that's looking to invest is probably in their 30s or 40s, has saved up a good bit of change, and they don't want to be driving the hood at, you know, 7 p.m. Kicking out squatters. Kicking out squatters. I mean, I think every single one of us has had an example of where we walked into a property and people were squatting on it, whether they're sleeping in the crawl space or, in Chris's case, living in the attic. You know, nobody wants to do that. So that's kind of why I think that's a great rule for starter investors. Look at the area, picture yourself if you could be living there. If not, move on, because you don't want to spend half your day chasing people down and calling the cops and patrolling your property, making sure hookers aren't getting in and selling drugs. I kid you not. I kid you not.
So that's a good point. I mean, I totally agree with that. But like, let's just say, I mean, we're here in Raleigh, for example, or like you're in Durham. I mean, whatever. Like you're in West Durham, that same property you bought.
East.
But no, I'm saying, but like if you were in West.
Oh, that's completely different. Completely
You probably wouldn't have bought it. So like, for those of you out there that's like, listen, we understand it's rough. I mean, East Durham's rough, but it's got like extreme potential. So I think you knew that in the back of your mind too. But anyway, in any case, like, let's just say you're like, listen, I'm the kind of guy or gal, I want to go for the better deal. I don't care if I'm in a rougher area. I got thick skin. Like, if that's the case though, and I totally agree with Laythe, 100%, that's right. But let's just say you're like, screw it, I want to get the better deal. What would you comment about like looking out for then? Like, where do your eyes go when you look at a property? Like,
so everything always comes down to comparable sales and comparable rent. If I go to an area and I'm buying the worst property on the block, but I know the best property sold for $400,000 and I have the opportunity to buy it for $200,000, then it's no brainer. And that's what I was doing. I mean, that's when East Durham started exploding, and still people were scared to, you know, walk at night alone there. But I knew, I saw the potential. I saw the developers coming. I saw these $700,000 houses next to crack houses. And I was like, there's something, I'm in my 20s. These guys building are probably in their 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
They know something I don't. And if they're selling these homes, you know, might as well get behind the bandwagon. I got lucky and bought up a bunch of rundown properties in Durham. Still have majority of them right now, but I have probably looked for the past 3 years every single day,
and there's nothing.
And I have not found a single deal to buy. It just because now that future growth is already built into the pricing, which
goes back to timing.
And I've told Davis so many times I've sold my properties. I'm like, I have no clue how this buyer is buying this property because it makes absolutely 0 sense. I know what it can rent for. I've already done the improvements. I've already put the granite. And they're buying it, and they're going to be losing money day one. And it's like, it doesn't make sense to me. But if you're lucky enough to live in a city where the boroughs aren't as developed, I would say start looking at the boroughs of where the growth is following and not where it's at right now. Because I have not seen, and I'm sure, because we talk about this every day. I mean, I have not seen one good deal in Raleigh that me and you have said, let's buy it. You know, it's all right. Well, if we buy this, then we got to put another $20,000 in each store, and then pray we could achieve these rents that,
especially not on the market.
Exactly.
But so anyway, knowing someone that's a licensed real estate agent, so you can have access to those comparables and that data, it's super important. Maybe you partner with one. I don't know, but so like, let's just say you do find a deal. Like objectively speaking, you're looking at a property. What kind of, where does your eye go to understand, like, all right, how much am I gonna have to spend? What's this gonna look like? How good of shape or bad of shape is it in?
All right, so I'll give you the kind of the breakdown of what I do when I walk through a property. First thing, you get there, you look at the roof. You know, that's pretty self-explanatory. If you see shingles falling off, if you see cracked shingles. Miscoloring. I mean, we've seen that a million times where owners put different colored shingles because they don't want to go to Lowe's and buy. They have whatever they have in stock, they just slap on the roof. But the roof. Second thing, always walk around the property, look at the foundation, see if it has HVACs. Ideally, you know, I'd love a property that does have existing ductwork and HVACs in place because that's going to run you a good chunk of money.
That's a pretty penny.
But as long as those two check out, the foundation, roof, the biggest thing really is the foundation, then you do a walkthrough. You go inside the apartment, and the thing I look for the most is, do you see cracks all throughout the walls? And that's another sign of foundation issues. Are the floors leveled? Last thing you want to do is go and you got the subfloor sinking in, you know, 2 inches below the next adjoining subfloor. And then pretty much how's the, like you brought up earlier, how's the functionality? Is the kitchen, can one person fit? And this is one thing that's been brought up a bunch now with these kitchens. It's like nowadays people are straying away. I don't even know what they call it, the alleyway kitchen, where you got one counter here, and like one person can only fit right through. Everything's trending towards the more open. So if there's not something that I know I could add value, like opening up the kitchen or moving a wall, those are things I look for as well. And you made another great point, ceiling height. I mean, a lot of people, you know, if I could stick my hand up and touch the ceiling, what are we renting, Hobbits, or you know? It's like
it just limits how much you can raise the rent. Really, like people like the big floor plans.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. Still, you'll have a tenant base for it. But
100%.
The question you always got to ask yourself is how far. And everyone's going to say, "Oh, you scummy landlords," blah blah. How far can you increase?
Push
the
the
rent?
top line.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. We're not in this business to, you know, yes, it's fun, but at the end of the day, we look to do it to make money. And everything's factored in when you make the initial purchase price or that initial offer. All those factors are considered. How much can I sell it for in today's market? How much can I sell it in 5 years? Yes, that's going to be, you know, a prediction. Cycle dependent. But those are good things to understand before buying a property. And like I said, the rents. You want to know what you could get. You know?
And it's like, listen, like, you know, it's a bunch of info, and you're like, well, when do I buy and when do I turn away the deal? It's a combination of a bunch of different things. Like, I mean, it's not a simple, straightforward answer. It's a matter of, you know, where you are in the cycle. How much work does it need? What do the comps look like, to Laythe's point? That's a huge one. That's probably number one.
Yeah.
But listen, comment down below anything specifically that we talked about, whether it's structural elements of a deal, whether it's the cyclicality of real estate, whether it's how to look for comps. Comment down below if you want to hear about something more specifically. We can do another full video on that. I know we've covered a lot today. We're going to wrap it up here, but look forward to reading your comments down below and following up in the next video.
And I'm not too sure how YouTube works, if you could send DMs or whatever, but if you want, we're more than happy to look at a piece of real estate you're looking at and we'll give you our honest opinion. Granted, we probably won't know the pricing in the area, but we'll tell you if we think it looks good or if it's going to be a money pit at the end of the day.
Comment email down below. We'll send your deals to us. We'll give you our email and we can follow up on them.